A bald, bespectacled man sits at a large table and draws with white chalk on a piece of blue fabric. Filling the wall behind him, a large bookcase stuffed with books and several pieces of colorful artwork.
What drove me to being an artist was just an internal sort of voice that said, this is what you have to do.
Michael A. Cummings, 2023 NEA National Heritage Fellow. He cuts the fabric with scissors. Books stacked on the nearby shelves include art quilts unfolding.
I was born and raised in Los Angeles. My goal in life was to become an artist. My father gave me this bleak story about how bad artists live, no money, no food, and is this what you want to do? And I said, yes.
Rain falls into a shimmering puddle. Michael walks with an umbrella.
It hasn't been a straight journey. There's a lot of detours, different types of jobs and all that, but each job I had, I made room or budgeted for creating my art.
A red light turns to green. A subway stop.
I moved to New York in 1970.
Harlem, New York.
I was searching for a medium. I thought I was going to be a painter. As time went on, I discovered collage, and from collage, I discovered quilting and working with fabric, and from there, it all kind of fell together.
A variety of mixed media art.
What spoke to me about fabric was the flexibility of it. I didn't have to clean brushes, and I said, when it's all over with, I could fold it up and put it under my bed, because I didn't have a lot of storage space.
A pile of colorful fabrics.
I would come home from work, change clothes, have a quick dinner, and then sit down at the sewing machine. I had to say no to friends when they wanted to take me out to dinner, or I had to stay home and do my art. That was my dream, and it was coming true. The more I created, the more I could see it coming true.
He lays a small quilt on a sofa.
Okay, this quilt is part of my Egyptian series. This was a transitional quilt. I say that because in 1977, I had just started 2 years ago, and I had just bought a sewing machine maybe in '76. And so I was still getting used to the sewing machine, and I guess I had enough energy to still hand sew. Early stages when I was making it, people were making more traditional quilt. This is not traditional at all. It's sort of like out of the box.
The quilt includes buttons and several patches of irregularly shaped fabric pieces. At his table, Michael draws on paper, then cuts fabric.
Ultimately, my quilts, I do it all sort of organically. I don't use any measuring at all. I just kind of eyesight. It's a strange feeling because I don't feel like I'm doing it by myself. I feel like I'm kind of being guided. Once I stop, I realize I'm not totally in control. There's something else taking over.
He arranges fabric pieces. Two pieces resemble blue waves.
A narrative quilt is something that tells a story. And my quilts, I take mythology from various cultures, I take history, and they kind of tell the story of struggle that African American people have had.
Many of his quilts include human faces. Chelsea, New York, 2023. He and two other men hang large quilts on a gallery's white walls.
The current exhibit that's going on at the gallery down in Chelsea is my first retrospective.
The quilts, many of which include depictions of brown-skinned people, feature bright colors, various shades of yellow, blue, green, and red. A man measures one quilt with a tape measure.
There are several quilts that are significant. One is the first fabric piece that I created, and then there are other pieces in the show that gradually show how I grew from that basic flat construction.
One quilt features a person in a royal blue robe. Another depicts a sharp-toothed animal with one bright turquoise eye. Several visitors view the quilts.
At the opening, I felt like I was having an out-of-body experience because I was in the crowd with the people looking at my artwork, and I said, "Whoa, is that me?"
Smiling wide, Michael chats with a blonde woman.
Quilting and working with fabric, it keeps me alive. That's how I see the world and my art coming together. It's all one big quilt.
Another quilt features depictions of a woman and two men. The men hold what appear to be musical instruments. In 2023, the National Endowment for the Arts presented Michael A. Cummings the NEA National Heritage Fellowship Award, the highest form of recognition for the folk and traditional arts by the United States government. For more information, visit arts.gov/heritage. This film was produced by Hypothetical in association with the National Council for the Traditional Arts, presented by the National Endowment for the Arts.